particular reason these are being replaced is because this side is significantly worn. Hopefully we can pick that up. There's a awful lot of play in the kingpins in this side. Quite loose. Can lead to a wobble going down the road, but in this case, just the wheels tipping in and steering arm is hitting on the axle just because it's worn so much. But hopefully, we are going to fix that. Alright, so today, got a 55 Chevy pickup in for some Kingpins. Let me grab a light, I'll show you what's going on. This driver's side here is the worst of them. The two anyway, but hopefully I can show you this. The reason these are being done is because these pins are very loose, or not the pin is loose, but the bushings are wore. Got lots of excess movement there. So, we're going to try and get rid of that. Let me pop the wheel off and we'll see what we got. Alright, got the wheel off. Now we're going to work on getting these brakes apart. Could leave these on, but I want to pull them off so I have access to the spindle mounting bolts. And so I got most room to work that I have. Brakes look pretty good. These were done about a year ago. I think we had this one in. Originally this truck had left-hand threads on this side, but those were removed when we had the drums put on, because originally the drum was swedged on, where the drum and stud were pressed onto the hub in one piece there. But those have been changed out and converted to right-hand thread so that the drum can be removed independently of the hub. Otherwise we would have had to pull the bearings apart, get the drum off. But they look pretty good. I don't think this truck's had a whole lot of miles put on it since the brakes were put on. But it's always good to check them out anyway. Even now with the wheel off, you can see there's quite a bit of movement, and that is all in those kingpins. So, I'm going to tear it apart the rest of the way here and see what we got. Whatever, I'll leave them there. Did already break the drag link here loose. Figured it'd save some noise. Break that free beforehand. One thing that I just noticed is that because the pins are loose, the axle is pivoting, leaning in, and it's actually hitting on the axle. I think you can see that right there. That shiny spot. Actually the drag link hitting on the axle, so that's probably that catching noise we were feeling when we were driving. But hopefully, when those pins are tight, the wheel will camber out away from the truck and we can see what we got. Hopefully get us some more clearance there so it won't do that, but I'll probably end up shaving that stud down anyway. Next I'm going to pull the steering arm and backing plate off of the spindle here, so let me break them loose and I'll be right back. Alright, so at this point the brakes are off, backing plate is off, bearings are off. With all this stuff off, you can see there's quite a bit of slop in this Kingpin. Of course it's coated in grease and gunk and all kinds of slimy junk there. As far as we know, these are the original Kingpins, so they're 60 some years old. Guess they have a little right to be wore out. But what I'm going to do now is pull off the locking pin in the axle here. That goes through and locks the pin into the axle itself. Hopefully this will come loose and not fight us too much. We did get new pins, new locking pins with the Kingpin set, so I'm not too worried about wrecking this one. We just got to get it out, hopefully in one piece. Kind of surprised that moved. I'll take it. That may be some good news. All that oil soaked in there. Hopefully I shouldn't have to fight the pin too much getting it out. But we will see. Up top here there should be a cap, a grease cap. It holds, well, it doesn't really hold anything together. More or less keeps the water out and the grease in. I think you see the rough outline of it here. Looks like this edge might be sticking up a little bit. Might be something for us to grab on here. Let me see if I can give that a quick buff and get some of that gunk off of there. Well, the air compressor kicked on and cut me off, but in the meantime I was able to get this cap broke loose. I'll pull that off of there. Underneath there you can see all the grease and grime. The smaller diameter there is the pin and this outer diameter is the brass bushing. But there's just grease and slime everywhere in there. Because we are replacing both the pin and the bushing set, next step is going to be to get the air hammer in there and make some noise. The drift pin or the locking pin is out. Pulled the grease fittings out of the back side. The only thing holding this in here is grease, grime, and rust. So we're going to try it with a little hammer. See what happens. If that don't work, we'll have to get out the Big Bertha here, see if it'll break it loose. I'm hoping the way this has all been coming apart, we should be able to knock it straight loose. Well, that didn't do much. Let me go grab Big Bertha. Would you look at that?